You're listening to Sit, Talk, and Listen podcast with your hosts, Payroll Rob and Zadie Bauer.
Yes. What a way to start off this special episode. Welcome to Sit, Talk, and Listen, everybody. Xavier, hello.
America, fuck, yeah.
That's right. If you don't like it, you can just get out. That's the way we celebrate in this country. So, yeah, we're coming in hot for our 4th of July episode. Today is not the 4th of July. It's the 2nd of July, but we're treating it as our 4th of July episode here for Sit, Talk, and Listen.
Well, not all birthday parties are celebrated on birthdays, and by God, we don't celebrate one of the best birthdays in mankind's history.
Yeah, happy birthday to us as a country. And I feel like it's a birthday that all these other nations around the world should recognize. And we will be accepting gifts in the mail. France, another statue would be nice.
Amen.
We could use one, like on the West Coast somewhere. Like a little cemetery would be nice. He said, they don't deserve it out there, he says. Wow. They got this beautiful Golden Coast. They don't need no statues.
Dude, finally, though, for the first time yesterday.
Dude.
This is not 4th of July related, but.
That's all right.
You know, I've been talking about asking so many people at my job, what is the ocean that separates us from Europe? And finally, a 19-year-old server was the first person who looked at me like I was an idiot for even asking and said, the Atlantic?
Oh, no.
So finally, we are 1 for 20. But shout out.
1 for 20. Does that mean the other 19 got it incorrect?
Did not know that the Atlantic separated us from Europe.
What did they answer?
They didn't know, or
did they just
Pacific.
Not have any ocean names?
Most of them said, "I don't know. You're putting me on the spot. I'm bad with geography." Yeah,
dude. There's like
I'm telling you, it's been 20. First one to get it, and she had the appropriate response of looking at me like I was stupid, and I was like, "No. That is the appropriate response, but." You don't know how many times I've had to ask this to get the correct answer.
I mean, that's why those Jay Leno Man on the Streets segments were always real popular, because people don't remember a lot of things about school or the world.
I was just thinking that was common knowledge.
Well, it should be. It very much should be. But I guess it's not. If you have, whatever that percentage is, 5% of people answered it correct in your pooling, in your 20-person survey.
1 for 20.
Jesus. That's a little disheartening. But there's only like 5 major oceans.
That means if the collective of servers that I've asked so far, that question, what ocean separates us from Europe?
Yeah.
And it was turned into at-bats. We'd be batting 0.50 right now. We'd be batting.
Send us down, dude. Send us down.
We got some live drops in here, dude. Man-made drops.
Oh, we're bringing the heat, dude.
What a better way to ring in the 4th of July with man-made props and drops.
Yeah.
Props for drops.
I wish I had like one of those little twirly doohickeys that spins, kind of makes like the ratchet sound. You know what I'm talking about?
I know a lot of things that make a few ratchet sounds.
When you spin them around, it goes. Oh no, I don't ratchet sounds. Well, before we get too deep into the 4th of July talk and other banter and mishmash, and we get way out of topic like we usually do.
It is episode 47.
It is episode 47. And so that means we need to talk about some athletes that were 47s. Xavier,
I racked my brain.
Yeah.
I think I only name the ones that I'm very sure of. I know I'm missing some major league pitchers that probably rock 47 and we're good. Okay. I'm going Johnny Cueto.
Ooh, look at that. Nice. Johnny Cueto, St. Louis heel,
Is he
major
on there?
heel. He's referenced.
Hell
Google tells me
yes,
about it.
dude.
He said, hell yeah, brother.
Andrei Kirilenko,
Andrei Kirilenko. What is he? A baseball player?
basketball.
Basketball. Oh yeah, there he is. Basketball.
And also
known as. Do you know his nickname?
AK-47.
AK-47. Let's go.
That might be the coolest. Like, you have to. Do you think you picked 47 because his initials are AK?
Ooh. Or no. I think that was probably a happy accident.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Torey Krug.
Torey Krug, your current St. Louis Blue. Him and isn't it a little serendipitous that him and Pietrangelo both won't play this upcoming season due to injury? It's a little odd. A little odd. That's all. But sad stuff. You want guys to be able to have a good quality of life outside the game. For those that don't know, Pietrangelo announced this week that he won't be playing this season due to injury. And Torey Krug is also in the same boat, and that's after Krug sat out
As long as they don't count towards the salary cap.
long-term ITL.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
ITL.
rest
Is that
up,
what it
King.
is? ITL? What am I saying? LTI?
LTI.
LTI or whatever? I don't know my acronyms, man.
Long-term
I don't
injured reserve. But that's only 47s.
that you can remember offhand, or that you're getting offhand.
Predominant one. Definitely some pitchers that have more 47 that I'm missing.
Frankie Montas,
Yeah.
Jordan Montgomery, John Means. I don't know who that
Okay,
is.
none of these are that crazy.
No, and that's just baseball. So a couple football players of note to wear 47. Mel Blount,
Yes.
Blount.
Hall of Fame cornerback for the Los Angeles Raiders.
Hall of Fame cornerback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Is what I'm reading.
Yeah,
here.
no, that's right. I fucked that up.
Hey, look.
But we're live on air.
Yeah, you're the live one. I'm the one who's got the information in front of me
That
here.
is Mel Blount, cornerback for the
Blount.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. I don't know how to read most times.
BLOUNT.
Correct. But I am a weed smoker, and so when I think blunt, I spell it differently, I guess. Ha! Watch out! Hey. So 47. We also have John Lynch. He was obviously predominantly known for
I
wearing
fumbled that one,
number
dude.
20, but he wore 47.
No, John Lynch was 47. Predominantly 47.
Well, Google right here says, while primarily known for wearing number 20. So that's why I said that.
John Lynch, 47 with the Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos. Did he play for the Dolphins for like a short period of time, maybe?
John Lynch? Maybe.
I'm asking questions
I don't
here.
remember that, but let's move on from this.
Hey. Glenn Blackwood, also a Dolphins player. Maybe that's who I was seeing in number 47. Sorry. That's it. That's it for number 47's Farty. Marc-Andre Bergeron, also for hockey.
That's 37.
Well, maybe Google's got this all fucked up then, brah. Don't know what to tell you. They got Marc-Andre Bergeron.
Oh, no. I'm thinking of Bergeron for Patrice Bergeron.
Patrice!
For the Bruins.
For the Bruins. Yep. All right. So episode 47. Today, July 2nd, 2 days before the 4th of July. We got some national days today, Xavier. What do you say?
I feel like there are going to be some duds because they know the big ones coming up.
All right. Well, we'll see. First, we got Made in the USA Day.
Oh, okay.
Made in the USA.
Not a lot anymore.
Not a lot. There's some good things. Like, look here, I got these drum heads right here. Remo drum heads. I've been using them forever. And they have right there on the bottom, Made in the USA. So that's a nice USA product that I always use.
But we're far removed from Industrial Revolution days.
The old good old days when we made the things we use in this country. Yeah, well, hey, money, capitalism.
We're importers now.
World go around. Yeah, we're importers, but even better is we export the raw material to make the goods, and then we bring that shit back after they make it sometimes. So we send it across just to bring it right back. And then we sell it to our people.
Pabst Blue Ribbon, that's one of the only American-made beers these days, right?
PBR? Well, I mean...
American-owned.
Yeah, that's the distinction.
We obviously make beer in America still.
Right. And it matters. It matters! To get the flavor of Budweiser beer or a Bud Light and stuff.
Beechwood.
They have to... Well, there's that filtering process, but they also have a water filtering process to match the pH and the different things of the water that we use in St. Louis for the brewery here, because that makes a difference in the overall taste of the beer. So in their other breweries around the world, they filter the water to match the chemical makeup of our tap water here in town. Little factoid for you.
There you go.
Yeah. So made in the USA Day. So go out and buy your USA made products. I'm trying to think of another good USA made product. I mean, there's some good stuff out there. John Deere's. Are they foreign only these days? Probably.
What isn't?
What isn't? Well, it doesn't matter, because it also today is I Forgot Day. So I forgot.
Good sequitur.
Good little sequitur.
I forgot.
Freedom from spear of... What?
Nothing to add to I Forgot Day?
I don't have anything. Do you? I forgot.
What is the most common thing you forget?
Ooh, what is the most common thing I forget? Usually it's like where I put my wallet, if it's not in my normal putting my wallet place. That's pretty common of a thing that I'd be like, oh, I forgot. Huh. Sometimes it's like my phone bill, always due the same day, and I'll wake up the day after it's due and be like, oh, yeah, I should have paid that yesterday, and then just pay it first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I forgot, but the calendar and whatever reminds me.
Dude, I tell you, I get such paranoia when I leave.
Paranoia.
Well, because I closed the restaurant for the first time, like, by myself, and the whole way home, I was like,
God, this alarm's going to go off.
I forgot something.
Yeah.
Definitely forgot something.
That's the worst.
I was about to drive. I was getting so paranoid, I was about to drive all the way back there just to make sure I locked the doors.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. But was everything was good?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. See?
I'm a forgetful guy.
He said, well, I'm a forgetful guy.
So
today's for you, I guess. And many others like you. And I forget a lot. Sometimes every day.
Lay off the weed.
Thanks, Stephen A. Thanks, Uncle Stephen. Okay, so it's also Freedom from Fear of Speaking Day.
Ooh, so normally if you have a fear of speaking, you can feel a freedom from that.
Correct. That is what today.
Not even public speaking, just speaking?
I think it's mostly about public speaking, yeah. What they can do to overcome their anxiety about public speaking and get their thoughts and ideas across freely.
I always thought it was weird when they said just picture everybody naked. Like that. I mean, if you're picturing everyone naked, you're probably like you're not going to speak to a group of naked people.
You're going to be a little confused, and you're going to wonder, why is everybody else naked and I'm not?
Yeah.
Why am I the eyeball? Yeah. Should I get naked right now? Yeah. Next thing you know, you're standing there in your underwear trying to give a speech that you weren't ready for in the first place, and now nobody's actually naked, but you're naked because you pictured them naked. It's a whole... you're asking for
terrible
problems.
Advice.
Yeah, it is. And if you're in somewhere and you got a good-looking front row, you got a guy that just got the hair plugs freshened up, he's looking good, and you picture him looking in his underwear, sitting next to some hottie in her underwear.
Whoa.
I mean, you're going to be distracted all of a sudden from your public speaking. I'm just saying, it's not good advice. I'm just giving you the rundown of why it's not good advice. Oh, he said this is a good chance for the,
yeah.
Timing's everything. And sometimes the timing is there, and sometimes the timing is a hair behind.
Oh, can I have that?
The slide whistle?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. We're passing it along. It's a little game we're going to play.
Hey.
When are we going to hear the slide whistle next? Lord knows. Lord knows. So we also have National Disco Day.
Ooh,
little Bee Gees. You're gonna get down tonight.
What? Do you remember September. That's a great. That song makes me want to dance so bad.
True. A little Earth, Wind, and Fire, I do believe.
Would you consider that disco?
Yeah, that song's got disco vibes. They weren't a disco group, but they, released music that had those disco vibes. What's the, there's a lot of good music it's fun stuff to play, as being a drummer, the disco grooves are fun. It's pretty just straightforward and you're
Why
dancing.
Why did disco get such a hate?
Probably because it got associated with partying.
You jive ass turkey.
Could be. It was because of all the jive ass turkeys, dude.
That's
I
cool.
don't know. I
would love that term to come back.
Well, let's start working on it.
You know what I mean, though? That's a really good term. You jive ass turkey. You fucking mark ass trick.
I just wanted you to start using that without any context. Just somebody ask you a random question on the street.
You mark ass trick.
You got my face, you jive ass turkey. You know what I mean? I think the world is ready for it.
You got about 10 seconds. Oh, I failed that one.
That's all right. He's working on Xavier slide whistle.
It's harder than it looks.
It's
You gotta keep your finger somewhere.
No, you're not supposed to. Don't cover nothing. Yeah, and don't cover that little air hole. That's what makes the sound.
Is that what I did? You think?
Probably.
Oh,
It's not a recorder. It's not like you're playing hot cross buns or nothing.
Yeah, there we go. I like this.
Okay, National Lint Awareness Day.
Lint?
Lint, the shit you clean out of your dryer when you
so you don't start a fire. Clean out
don't
the dryer.
start your fire. Clean your lint traps.
Out the dryer. It was
Out
right
the
there
dryer.
for you. Jesus.
Hey, brother, I don't write these lyrics. Lyrics don't write themselves. Well,
ChatGPT does.
Not my lyrics.
So
brother.
don't forget the Lint Day.
It's National Lint Awareness Day. Yeah, because a lot of house fires are caused by lint buildup.
You should also be aware of the 40 days that the Catholics celebrate.
Lint with an E, correct? Mm-hmm. The lintinal awareness.
Fish fries.
Fish fries, beer battered fries.
Giving up something on lint.
Hey. All right. I think we got ourselves a Catholic jam. What else do we have? We have Special Recreation for the Disabled Day. And in the same, don't even, I'm looking at this man out of the corner of my eye and preparing a slide whistle about sports recreation and for the disabled day. And he's going to slide whistle this day. Don't do it. How about this one? Sport. I shouldn't have passed the whistle on. World Sports Journalist Day. So, slide whistle, the Stephen A's of the world.
No.
No.
No, so what, but just recreational sports?
For what? What are we talking about? What do you mean?
Disabled.
It just says special recreation for the disabled day. So like recreational sports, it sounds like special recreation for the disabled day. Hey, I don't know. I didn't make this. I didn't make this list.
Shout out my brother Billy.
Shout out for him. Special recreation for him. Special recreation.
I'm just kidding, Billy. I love you. I love all the
World Sports Journalist Day. You glossed past that one.
World Sports Journalist is it's all bullshit now. Let me tell you this.
Hot ass.
Yeah, it's because it's like everybody's in a pockets of the agent. Everybody has a narrative to write. Mm-hmm. Everybody, even Shams Charania today. The Lakers just signed DeAndre Ayton to a 2-year, $16 million deal. And this is the number one sports basketball journalist, right?
What's his name?
Shams Charania.
All right. Sham.
And he was like, the Lakers just signed 2-year to DeAndre Ayton, who is the only person who's averaged 16-10 off a 60% shooting from the field. Like, just report the fucking news. Like, you don't need to just glaze the Lakers. I'm sure he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, if
Yeah.
I was another fan besides the Lakers, even it kind of pisses me off even as a Lakers fan.
Right.
Just report the fucking news. You don't need to glitz it up and do all this stuff.
Right.
Report the facts. Stop spreading narratives.
Yep. I think a lot of it stems just from 24-hour news cycles, which work their way into the sports world with ESPN, having to have content on 24 hours a day across multiple different kinds of networks. And that spawned the rise of other 24-hour, sports networks, being CBS and Fox and all that different stuff. And there's too much demand for content for there to be truthful content, right? Everything's an opinion piece. Let's create headlines. Let's create controversy. Let's create drama.
What do they call that? They talk about on Team A all the time when you're like farming.
Oh, yeah. When they're, content farming, not content farming.
They are content farming.
Yeah. You're out there, you're searching for, you're looking to poke the nerve. You know what's going to get people going. A takesmith, a lot of the world's filled with takesmiths. But today, we're going to take time and recognize those takesmiths. He said, no. Hey, whether or not you want to recognize them for good or
take
evil,
this time.
take the time
I like
to recognize
to take this time
them.
to say, fuck Kendrick Perkins, dude. Dude, he's the worst, bro. I would just
He's the worst, bro.
I would like to just slap Kendrick Perkins right across his fat, stupid fucking head.
Ryan Clark's got a little out of hand over the years,
Ryan Clark too, yeah, man. Ryan Clark, fuck Ryan Clark.
A whole lot of them.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
The only people that really
wild.
keep it a buck are like Charles Barkley and stuff. And not that I always agree with Charles Barkley's takes, but I don't think they're disingenuous.
Yeah, I agree. It does always seem like he at least is speaking honestly.
Like,
about how
I
he
get a little
feels.
mad at him sometimes for his Lakers hatred, but
The Lakers. That's my very brief
good Charles.
That's my very brief Charles. All right. I think we got one more national day here, Xavier. And today is World UFO Day. Ooh. There you go. We need like a theremin right there.
Yeah.
For the next 30 seconds, we're just going to do mouth sound effects, everybody. Here we go. Woo, woo, woo. World UFO Day. That's what it sounds like, probably, in everybody's mind right now.
Oh, man, you know what I'm thinking about,
So
though?
go ahead. Yeah.
Is like a couple months ago when Katy Perry and Jeff Bezos and all them people took a flight to
the old
space.
the
and
space rocket flight.
Katy Perry thought it was the best time to sing her little "To Dad." And remember that?
Yeah.
She made an ass of herself.
Yeah. Did you also know that was kind of one of the major breaking points for Orlando Bloom to the now that working on.
Who have I married?
What kind of choices does she make? She looks like a real idiot. God, what fucking moron am I? I'm gotta get out of this. That's Orlando Bloom's inner thoughts, I'd imagine.
I think it was just a good picture of how disconnected she's became.
Yeah. And a lot of people, from that world are very disconnected. But so World UFO Day, when you think UFO, do you automatically just assume aliens, in like a little saucer spaceship?
Yeah, I mean, I know it goes way beyond that. It's just an unidentified foreign object, but
Sure.
yeah, obviously the picture that's been painted in us from like the time we were little tykes was the saucer-shaped thing with a big-headed green alien flying around, and they send a laser beam down.
And for whatever reason, it's always got a dome at the top. I guess just so you can see the little two green alien dudes flying it or whatever. What do you think?
But a
aliens
modern
sound like?
UFO is like, I don't know. A lot of people think these drones might be
Sure. I mean, they're basically like a
or
UFO.
pigeons.
If you don't know, pigeons. Were pigeons ever real? Were birds ever real? They
Are
all
birds
drones?
real?
That's the name of this episode. Did you see the title of last week's episode?
No,
It
what
was
was
your
it?
Helen Keller question.
What was that?
What would you ask? This man's, do you think Helen Keller was lying?
That was the name of last week's
That was the name of last week's episode. Do you think Helen Keller was lying?
I mean,
Do you think birds are real?
You got her the gravy train.
Got her the gravy
It
train.
makes it, famous liars. It makes me think of remember the Office episode where Michael Scott was pushing around Phyllis's dad all day, and then he got to the aisle. And he said, "I've been pushing this lazy ass around all day just for him to stand up and steal the spotlight."
Hilarious. Hilarious.
It's such a good quote.
So good.
He's like, and the wheels lock, so he's just dragging it down the fucking aisle.
Just clacking it on all the shit as he's walking by.
Yeah.
So good. So good. What do you think? The world's been visited by UFOs or not?
Yeah.
Some people believe that there are aliens that live in the depths of the ocean that have come up, and the UFOs are like submarine spacecrafts that can pop out and fly like the Jetsons. What do you think about that?
What do you think about what?
If there's aliens, but they're not outer space aliens, they're some sort of intelligent life forms that are living in the deepest parts of the ocean, and their UFOs are like submersibles that come up from the depths of the ocean and then can, fly about and then retreat back to the depths of the ocean.
Possibly. I mean,
Like way down in the what is it, the Mariana Trench or whatever?
Yeah.
Like where we've never been able to really explore. Maybe there's aliens down there and they come up in their little UFOs. What do you think about that?
Your mom's nickname in high school was the Mariana Trench.
We need the DJ air horn for this.
No, but yeah, I think that there's probably, dude. Okay, so when it's skeptical and not in the mainstream media is not talking about it, it makes me think it's more believable. But now that they've released all these files and shit, look. The government is not going to tell us anything like that they don't want us to know. So when they start doing that, it makes me think it's a distraction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now the more mainstream it becomes, the less likely I think it's true. They don't want us to know all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they ever release all the Epstein files and all this stuff, it's just a whole lot of hoopla, dude. Like we will never know, the public, things that we're not supposed to know. And that's what I think. So now that the government started talking about UFOs and all this shit, it just starts to make me think, maybe now they're saying there is just because they want to like, oh, this is starting to catch some traction. We'll give them this, and they'll think that we're being honest about everything.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's my thoughts.
Yeah.
All the underground sea merchants and all that shit. I mean, maybe. But how's my life going to change either way? If it's true, if it's not true, not going to change one damn bit.
That's true. It sure won't. But
You can say that about most things in life, I
Right.
guess. But
most things in life is a gamble.
seen it all, done it all, felt pain more.
True. Well, I think that'll wrap up my national days, the National UFO Day. What do you think? Rank today's national days, Davey. What was your favorite? What was your least favorite?
5.8.
5.8. I thought there were some good ones in there.
It is, but there's a lot. Like
Made in USA Day, I Forgot Day, National Disco Day, Lint Awareness, Sports
really?
Journalist Day,
yeah, that's 5.8.
Disabled Recreation,
That's
World UFO Day. He said that one really brings it down.
no, it brings it up. It brings it up.
Well, it brings it up
Yes,
as they sit down in their
I like
chairs.
the more niche ones. That's what I like.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, you know what? There was one that I kind of glossed over on the list. I'll give it to you at the end, and it kind of ties into your spiel about the government not telling us things that they don't want us to know. It's
National 9/11 Day.
National Report Military Fraud Day.
Ooh,
Wow! Did that raise the day for you? It's Report Military Fraud Day.
and how so? Like
Report
stolen
it,
valor?
baby. Like stolen valor. Like you see Chuck walking into a restaurant asking for the military discount, and you've known Chuck your whole life. That piece of shit was never in the military.
You're trying to get fucking $2 off this goddamn lunch combo on my Accord, brother.
You can't come into fucking Denny's and get money off your Grand Slam,
It
Chuck.
is funny though.
You're not anybody.
If he's dressed in all camo, it's fucking funny with like a VFW
No,
fucking
dude, he's got
Korean
the-
War hat on.
Now he's probably got what was the Desert Storm? You know, some sort of little
Bunch of little
90s
knickknacks
operation.
and doodads on the hat, like to
He's wearing
commemorate
the-
some shit.
Knickknacks and doodads. No. So yeah, maybe National Report Military Fraud Day. Chuck is a damn fraud, and he's trying to get money off at Denny's. I tell you what, when I was at
A lot of fraudsters out here.
there are a lot of fraudsters out there. I felt like, I'll give you this example. I felt like today the guy that was ringing me out at the team store when I went and bought this new Blues hat.
It was military fraud.
No, but I felt like he was really trying to urge me into a little, fraud kind of situation. Because he was, like, oh, are you a season ticket holder? I said, no. Are you a military? I said, no. He's like, are you active? I said, no. He said, are you former military? I said, no. He's like, what? He asked me like one more or whatever. Are you,
Are you high
like a
right
teacher.
now? Do you ever get nervous? Are you single?
do you love this shit? Yeah, no, he didn't ask me that. But I think he asked me like, are you a teacher or something? And I said, no. And they were like all possible discounts that they offered. But it seemed like he was really leaving me an opening to be like, yeah, I'm in the military. You know what I'm saying? But I was like not going to do it.
I think it'd be funny if restaurants just had like random occupations like discounted. Like, are you an ice cream truck driver?
Yeah.
Oh, so if you're not, we give 60% off to all ice cream truck drivers. And just to start to see how many people start coming in, like maybe in a ice cream truck driver outfit, you hear,
Yeah.
hello.
They're walking in.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep.
Fucking SpongeBob popsicle that looks like a cake, that looks like more.
Well, sir, we clearly don't need to ask. You're here for the discount.
There's a discount here.
Oh my God, my luck.
Door to door milk salesman. He's like this fucking.
How many of those do you see these days? No, there's about 5 in the whole country, but we got a discount for them.
That'd be so funny.
It's our
Dude.
niche market. We service milk delivery boys.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of wrong, though.
We service milk. Why'd you say boys? It'd be milkmen.
We service milkmen. Title of today's episode.
It'd be a long title.
We service milkmen?
No, but you already said another title.
Oh, it's just going to be all of them smushed together, yeah. But anyway, somehow National Report Military Fraud, we ended up
That's a
there.
6.6.
Oh, because of Chuck and his stolen valor. So yeah, that's a good day. I don't know, they're good days. They're good days. I like today's days. But today also is July 2nd. Like I was saying, we did our national days. Do you know what else July 2nd is every year? Except for leap years.
The halfway point through the year, I'd take it.
Ooh, yeah. Bing, 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 bing. Ring the bell. Good job, Xavier. We are halfway through the year. Yeah. Hey. Homemade sound effects. So today is July 2nd. We are past 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock today was like the legit midpoint, mid-time on the calendar of
Did we
this
already
year.
pass summer solstice?
Yep. That was last week. That was
days
like
are getting shorter.
June 20th. Yep. Days are getting shorter.
Back to
Summertime
getting
is
tight.
short. Yep. Shout out King of Queens.
Ooh,
So
that will
here's
be
the
a future Mount Rushmore best sitcoms.
best sitcoms. Put it on the dossier, Tony, for future episodes. Producer Tony will write that down. So today being this midpoint of the year of our Lord 2025, you know what that means. We are now officially closer to the year 2050 than we were to the year 2000.
Hallelujah.
How does that make you feel?
Well, I think I've heard that. That's why I was not surprised by that. So I've had more time to process it.
Damn it. I can't do anything cool.
It is shocking.
It is. There it is. I like it. It just kind of slow played me. It is shocking. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt when I heard that too. Like, oh, yeah, I guess we are closer to 2050 than we are to 2000. And I was old enough to remember the year 2000.
That's what I'm saying is like more of that, especially like being around all these youngins at work, dude. Nothing will humble you every day more than just like the majority of people that I talk to just don't remember 9/11.
Yeah, because they weren't born. Possibly a lot of them.
Just wild to think
It
about.
is wild.
We're getting old. Oh, and this is perfect sequitur into like one of the things I said I was going to talk about on the dossier.
I want you to. Well, we're talking about your young coworkers, and you said you asked them.
Let's just.
Well, we're talking about your younger coworkers, and their. You were asking them of the ocean that separated us from Europe. I want you to start by asking how many continents there are before asking them to name the continents. But start by asking how many there are, and then go ahead and ask them.
I did just ask the continents to a good friend of mine, and she got 6, and then got stumbled on one she knew. Ultimately, it was one we were just talking about, but Africa tripped her up.
Oh,
yeah.
It's right there.
And always like the answer, you get nervous and you start saying, and geography's not my thing. Geography's not my thing. That's usually what everybody starts. You know, a few years ago, we were playing a board game with my family.
Yeah.
And
what was the game?
Logos.
Logos. Nice.
So I was like trying to give a hint. I think it was Logos because I was trying to give a hint for them to guess Milky Way, right?
Yeah.
Candy bar.
Yeah.
So I said, the galaxy we live in.
Yeah.
All 3 of them stumped.
Oh, no.
Eventually, one yells out, Mars.
Mars, the galaxy of which we live in.
And I was like, it's pretty funny.
Who were you playing with? Your family?
Yes. No,
Well,
my parents were not guessing. They know.
It was your siblings?
Yeah.
No, there's some of your signiblings, others?
All the, yeah. Not gonna hit
You're not going to give me the specifics on who I have to shame here?
Guess what? Yeah, I just,
That's okay. I mean, there's plenty of things I don't know in this world.
Yeah, me
So,
too.
I'm not going to giggle too hard, but also
But it's
the galaxy of Mars
there probably
is
is
funny.
stuff that seems common knowledge to other people that I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to try that though. I like trivia because I like seeing the things that I don't know. But some people get real defensive when they don't know something.
I'm almost scared to go even easier and be like, can you name the countries that border the United States?
Yeah, America's
When you
hat.
think that's easy, when you think that's easier than the ocean question?
Yeah, maybe. I think it should be.
But technically, it's just as hard because we got
2 oceans, one on each side, and a little body of golf, little body.
I will
of
start
water
with that. I'll
golf.
start asking people that next.
Which one? Oh, the border countries.
Yeah.
America's hat, Canada, and then you got.
Well, I'm not asking you.
Well, I know. I just wanted to say America's hat, Nick, Xavier boy, and then we have our underbritches in Mexico.
Good job, dude.
Woo! Am I smarter than a 5th grader? However that.
But also the whole premise of that show, and that's why I keep saying you're not stupid. It just shows a lack of knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, smarter than a 5th grader. That just is in itself is a stupid premise and shows how dumb we are as a society. Knowledge that you learn in 5th grade doesn't make you smarter. There's some stupid fucking 5th graders that probably know a lot. You're dumb. You're still dumb. Like the knowledge that you've obtained over the years is not a judgment or a measuring stick for your intelligence. It's just not.
Yeah. Knowledge doesn't directly translate to intelligence, for sure. I agree with that.
It's how you navigate through life with the knowledge that you have.
Yeah, and your ability to understand complex problems and understand complex, make complex associations, like being able to do that kind of thing is a show of higher intelligence, like being able to come up with and understand more complicated things, whether it be social relationships and this, that, the other thing. Like that's how it should be determined.
But I think somewhere along. Okay, go ahead.
I was just saying we're closer to 2050.
Yes, and that's why I was going to say my sequitur for that is I was just thinking how 17 through 32 the years of my life
32. Yeah,
seems like they went by so much faster than 1 through 16. And it seems like people say that a lot. Like the older you get, the further it's like a gravitational pull time is, right? So does that I would guess then that ages 33 through 64 are going to go by
Lickety split.
quicker than 1 through 32 did, right?
Oh, probably. Yeah. And I think a lot of it has to do with,
Or even 33 through 48 will go by faster than this 17 through 32 did.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
yeah, I think it will. I mean,
Is that in our head? Like, what do you think that is?
It is. Time is relative. Time is relative. It's going to feel quicker, and I think that
Well, maybe there's something to it.
yeah, I'm sure there is, and I think that the reason that is the case is because we experience things in our life, right? And most of the time, when we experience something for the first time, is when we really savor it, when we really recognize it, when we really enjoy it. So the older we get, the more we've experienced different things, and we've tried new things, we've tried all sorts of things. And so the average everyday experience just kind of flies by, it just kind of becomes an ordinary happening. Like, we're not doing new things every day like we were when we were young or kids or whatever. That's not happening as much as you're getting older. So time just feels like it goes by quicker because we're not having a ton of new experiences necessarily like we maybe once did. So I think that plays into why it feels like time goes by quicker as you get older. I don't know. I'm sure there's some science on this, but that's what I think is the case.
I like my dad, my mom, Mike Butler, wwho evidently is a listener. Comment, let us know if 33 through 48 goes by quicker than 17 through 32 and 1 through 16.
Right.
And if your experience is the same.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. And
I'm sure there's a lot of factors in it. Like,
do you think so? Do you think 17 through 32 went by quicker than 1 through 16?
Yeah, I said that when you were talking about it. I said that I thought it did, and I agreed with you. And I was giving an explanation of why I think that is. And I think it just has to do with how life goes and how we experience things and what's new and what's not new. Especially as we get older and you get caught into a routine of your day job. And, yeah, things become the same, and it just feels like it's one, time just goes by so quick when that's the case. And I think it especially matters your circumstances on, if you have a family, if you have kids of your own, all those things make a difference on how quick it feels like time is moving. Because any parent will tell you when their kid's young, and then even till that kid is an adult, like those years will feel like a blip to most parents, I imagine. They'll say, "Oh man, next thing I knew, I had an adult child," and I'm blinking.
Grandchild.
Yeah, here's my first grandchild. I remember when I had my child.
I remember when I was a child.
Things accelerate big time when you start having kids of your own and living that life, and your concern is their needs and what they need to have their best life.
Do you have better memories of like 10 through 15 though than you do of like 15 through 20? That's what I find interesting. There's still memories burned into my brain from childhood that seems like it's just as easy for me to remember as I did like things that happened when I was 23, or a little more like gray area.
No,
right?
I feel like I got pretty solid grasp over like a lot of the memories from all the way up until about 23. Yep.
All right.
But yeah, I agree that it feels like the time is.
But we can reference something from 5th grade and remember just as fresh almost as we can remember something from 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what gets crazy, because I don't think that goes away, because you play it in your mind all the time. So when you're 65 and you're sitting there, you still have these fresh memories of being a boy,
Yeah. It can be distorted over time. Right, like stories,
but it feels real.
Correct, totally, 100%. And it depends on how often you revisit that memory, and like how often you retell it to yourself, and does things.
That's what I'm saying.
How often is your mind changing that? There's study after study that shows our human memories plays tricks on us all the time. So, something that we feel like we might vividly remember distinctly. We might be changing certain details, this, that, the other thing. But yeah, there's definitely things that I remember from my youth, and I feel like I'll remember them forever. And that's just one of the curious things about life, eh?
Backboard breaking, the Holy Family.
Backboard breaking at the Holy Family.
I remember that.
At the gym. How did that end up coming to be? It just was like nobody was. What happened? How did that happen? Somebody kicked.
There.
Oh, I remember. Connor Woods.
Oh, Connor was
kicked the basketball, and it hit the bottom of the rim, and it shattered that bitch.
Why did I say Dominic Wells?
I don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying. I
See?
remember that, but little things change over time.
Yeah. Yep. It was Connor. I'm just trying to remember why we were practicing in the Holy Family gym. It was like the one few times, remember, that Ted Drury's dad got us in there to practice somehow or another.
A lot of practice.
And that ended that quickly, breaking that backboard. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Now is a chance for that slide whistle, Xavier. Boom.
No, not after we mentioned it.
Missed it.
We'll
Opportunity gone. He said, we'll get there. We will get there.
Here we go.
So yeah, life's a funny thing. I'll see you in 2050. We'll revisit this moment that we were at the halfway part.
On episode 4,633.
Still searching for sponsors.
Call in, big sponsors.
Yeah. There's a line, so you'll have to get in line, big sponsors. But we're waiting for your call. And we're accepting him. Okay. I had this question for you. So the other day, Jamie came home and she had late lunch and she stopped by Taco Bell. So she was eating her Taco Bell. I said, "Oh, what'd you get?" And she said, "Oh, I got one of the buckets."
Buckets.
That was my reaction. I said, "Buckets?" She's like, "Oh, I mean, one of the baskets, the combos or whatever." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But that got me thinking,
A
like,
Taco Bell basket?
the box. A box is what she meant to say.
Box, for the love of God. It's a fucking box.
It's a box
It's
of
not a
Taco
basket.
Bell.
It's not a bucket. It's not a goddamn bell. Nothing else with a beak. It's a box.
But that's what got me thinking. Like, it sounds wrong when she was like, "Oh, a bucket." Like, what do you mean a bucket? And then
Did she say this?
she did say a bucket, and then she said a basket, and then she was like, "No, I mean a box." She did get to the right one. She did get to the box, but she started off by accidentally saying bucket.
Pisses me off.
That pisses me off. But so yeah, I'm thinking, what things are acceptable to eat out of a bucket? It's like chicken. Is
Popcorn.
it only chicken?
Popcorn.
Ooh, popcorn, good to eat out of a bucket. But like, if you got a bucket of
Chips.
macaroni and cheese, that's a little weird. A little
Chips.
odd.
People
Chips
pour
out of a
chips
bucket?
into like a big bowl bucket type thing.
Come on, you know what people pour them into? It's an old country crock tub of butter that you've used and you washed out to use as a Tupperware, but
Or
you're going
mac
to
and
use
cheese.
it as a bucket for your chips. What?
I've never done that.
What? Used an old country crock
For
as
chips?
a Tupperware?
Not for chips. Potato chips?
Well, you've had it just sitting in your house as a Tupperware
No.
container, and you haven't just brought it out to
We
fill
definitely
with chips.
repurpose country crock butter, but that's like
Or
for
a
spaghetti
popcorn
leftovers or macaroni and cheese leftovers. But for fucking potato chips, dog, you got a big bowl in your house. Put them in
you
that.
said a bucket. You said a bucket
I
of
know.
chips, and so I'm trying to
I know.
say what kind of
But
bucket
maybe
of chips.
you could probably eat chips out of a bucket.
But it feels odd to say. You know, it's like, give me that bucket of chips.
I just think chicken and popcorn.
Are the only acceptable answers for things
Not
you can
even
eat out of a
acceptable,
bucket.
but that's been normalized in society.
Bucket of chicken, bucket of popcorn, bucket of
List out there.
candy bucket.
No. Maybe you
No.
carry around a bucket on Halloween, might be why your brain's going there.
Probably.
And you fill it with candy. But you're not just sitting on the couch watching TV with a bucket of candy.
Speak for yourself.
Just a fucking
Me and my
bucket full
bucket of cotton candy.
bucket of cotton candy. There's probably buckets of cotton candy.
There are, but it's a little
It's
odd
like a
still.
Blues game. Mm-hmm. You
Get your cotton candy here.
cotton candy either on one of those white sticks.
What do you think? I think I put cotton candy as maybe one of the worst things to eat at a game to have.
I don't like. I hate my hands being sticky.
Yeah, dude.
If anybody knows Nick Winterbauer, you know I do not like having sticky hands.
If I see a small child with just like cotton candy face and the grody little sticky fingers, like
Disgusting.
little kids and toddlers especially always seem to have grimy fingers and hands. So once you've given them something that's going to make their
The more
fingers
moist it gets, they're always
it's just worse and worse. They're like covered in just sugary blue and pink color.
like just discolors on their face.
So you got to power wash that child when
Chimes
you
in
get
with
it home.
the dirt that's been left over there from God knows what.
Yeah, dude. These little grimy children, probably from Jefferson County.
But yeah,
Just
I mean,
taking
bucket
shots.
of chicken is so synonymous, though.
Oh, yeah. But in chicken in bucket form.
Bucket of Taco
You're like,
Bell.
that sounds good.
That's some.
That's some interesting stuff. Yeah. If you were to say,
What would they put in a bucket if you went to Taco Bell served a bucket? What would they serve in?
it'd be like it would have to be like a taco shell bucket, dude.
They kind of do like
a
bucket
taco
of
bucket.
nachos, like if you're a real big back at a baseball game.
Ooh, dude, that'd be a good band, like a rapper name, Big Back at a baseball game.
Big back. Oh, dude. There's a funny. We went out to eat last night with two of my coworkers, and one of them went in there. He's like, "Yeah, the door wasn't locked. I had one hand on my dick and one hand on the door." And I was like, "That sounds like the title of an autobiography." One hand on my dick and one hand on the door.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's got a lot of applications.
Yeah.
Write it down. Consider it a trademark. Verbal trademark. July 2nd, 2025. Sit, talk, and listen.
Yeah, there I was in the back of the diner, one hand on my dick, one hand on the door, thinking about how I got here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it writes itself. It really does. So we already got the epilogue done.
And the other one's holding a peace sign.
And the other one's holding a peace sign. Yeah. All right. Hey.
We're starting to just turn drops into like the fucking guy off the I Think You Should Leave playing the organ.
You have to, so sorry about your loss. It's like the carnival organ smashing the plates.
He's going.
Oh, really getting off the rails.
Woo!
Anything else that's okay to eat from a bucket?
I mean, you could eat anything from a bucket.
Yeah, but are you going to be jarred?
But you're
Like,
meaning more
like,
like what is
what's-
societally acceptable.
Right.
Right.
Like, what are you not going to... What's other things would turn some heads? Like, if you got a bucket of corn...
Bucket of corn.
You're going to turn some heads. Definitely...
What do you think that guy who had a hole in his bucket, like, what do you think he was carrying? The one that's like, he was trying to tell Liza, you know, there's a hole in my bucket, dear Liza. You know that one?
Oh, he was trying to tote water, probably, dude. We'll get water
You
from...
had a fucking hole, just put your goddamn finger over the hole.
Well,
How
he was
big was
carrying
his
the bucket with both hands, and he didn't notice it was getting
There's a
lighter.
hole in my bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in my bucket, dear Liza. What's the last part?
Don't know, dude. You got
Do you
me
know
about
that,
as...
though?
I know about as much as you just gave us. I know
Okay.
about that much.
If you like it, you can take it. If not, you can send it right back.
He said, if not, you can send it right back. No, Eliza, bucket, holes. I don't know. Tony didn't have time to look that up today.
Holes.
Spaghetti out of a bucket.
What do you think is what do you think is served? And this is a 4th of July episode. What do you think, like, the people from other countries would be shocked at the portion sizes that America does over others?
It's probably most of our stuff. Sandwiches, I feel like we do
but
a lot
like
of big sandwiches.
You think big Sandos?
Yeah.
Chicken buckets might be up there, dude. The fact that we serve any food in a fucking bucket.
It is wild. I mean, that's why I thought that this question was
It is. I
poignant.
mean, when you really just imagine going to fucking China,
bucket of
just-
chicken.
I mean, I know they have KFCs in China now, but
Yeah.
like it's definitely like they're probably just think that we're just some. I mean, and they wouldn't be off.
And they're like, whoa. This was supposed to be for feeding a family,
They
but
should have saw us in the 80s.
we got Chuck from the Stolen Valor segment coming to get a bucket of chicken now, and he's not feeding a family. He's feeding himself. Chuck's a big chicken guy.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Call in, big chicken fan.
You know those AI things now. People are making those like AI skits and stuff, and it seems real. It's like they look like
Really?
real humans. But
AI
I saw
skits.
one. A lot of them
Like,
was
what
like
do you
making fun of fat people because a
lot of them
this
was
big
making fun
fat
of fat
bitch at this restaurant. She was like, "I'd like to order this with one side," and she's like, "And which side of the menu would that be?"
The left.
Yeah. So
That's funny.
you seen those?
I have not.
There was one where Sean, my roommate, was showing me, and this like black guy runs in front of this white family sitting on a porch with a TV. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I think that's mine." He's like, "No, honey, ours is right there." And there's like a black guy in the bushes doing some lawn work. Pretty fucked up.
He's a pretty fucked up.
But
Hey, this is what AI was made for, to create.
but a black guy
entertainment.
showed me that.
It's okay, guys. My black friend showed me.
Yes, he was laughing way harder than I did.
That's right. And that makes it okay. There was I'm just still stuck on this food and bucket question. I feel like there's one that we're missing outside of popcorn and
Bucket
chicken.
of food.
And like the bucket of popcorn is also pretty wild, honestly. Like,
Yeah, but usually that's being.
I don't think I've ever once finished.
I'll bash a whole
bag
fucking
or bucket of
before
popcorn.
the trailer's over, brother.
I won't. I just can't eat popcorn like
damn,
that.
give me that popcorn.
No, it's just not good like that. I don't think so, at least.
Well, Bob, you also have taste buds of like a toddler.
Sometimes. But that's my prerogative.
I'm just saying. Like, that's just not, like, it's okay that you do.
And you're not going to sit here and tell
And
me
we
that popcorn
all-
is some sophisticated shit.
It's not, but I'm just saying, like,
It's just not good. It's just little poofity balls. It's got some butter on it.
they're not
But it gets-
balls.
they're kernels and they pop out. They go, bah! You know? And then they get the kernels stuck up in my teeth. It's just more work than it's
That
worth.
is the biggest downfall to
Yeah.
popcorn.
It falls
Your
into
tongue gets quite the exercise for the next 19 hours.
that, building up them tongue
Just
muscles
fucking-
for Lord knows what.
Trying, you're picking at it, you wedge it in deeper, you're like, God damn it, this backfired. And then you start to think about, I'm
Get a little
never eating
toothpick.
popcorn again.
I'll tell
you
ya.
get there mentally.
And that's what has put me over the edge. Like, it's just not worth it most times for me. I'm like, don't give me.
I'll say another,
don't
I
want it.
do really like it. And another thing that I think the juice worth the squeeze, but not all the time, is like, okay, I love crab legs, but
Yeah,
God
see?
damn the work that you put in to get them.
Yeah, and that falls into the same category as like a chicken wing. Honestly, like some days,
Well, no. I mean, gosh, damn it, dude. Chicken wing, the meat's right there. There's no work to it. You're
there's
eating
no
the meat.
work to it. You're like both hands got you gnaw it off the
hands.
bone. One hand, sometimes,
The
most
work
times.
you put into a chicken wing is like minuscule.
But you still gotta, bite through the little tendons and off the cartilage, and it's just work. It's more work.
Chicken wings are elite, and I do think
They're
there's
good. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes I just don't want to do that work. So give me a boneless wing. It's big chicken nuggets. I don't care.
They're not
They're not what?
big chicken nuggets.
They're processed.
Call in, big chicken guy.
Call in, big chicken. We're talking to you, Tyson. Oh, so I did come up with one, maybe a couple more. I don't know. Bucket ideas. Ice cream. Like, a little big bucket of ice cream.
Yeah, but that's like more for the movies when you're going through a breakup.
And I guess people say a tub more than
Tub.
they'll say which is like even more of a big old mental picture.
Look at the lard ass carrying the tub. Lard
That
ass
is rough sounded. Give me that tub of ice cream.
Lard ass is also another insult that should come back.
Bring that back with jive ass turkey.
Look at the fucking bucket of ice cream. Or look at the tub of ice cream. Lard ass.
It's funny. It is interesting that tub of ice cream came to be the expression.
Guy's got a tub. A whole fucking tub.
Yikes, dude. Like, don't do it.
I'm gonna go home and eat a tub of ice cream.
Like, that could be really, most people think of like a little gallon pint of ice cream, I guess, if you say tub. That's just like in your mind, but maybe somebody
You said a
means.
gallon pint. Those are two different measurements.
I'm just visually, whatever, dude.
Oh, I got you. Sorry. That's got to get caught up in semantics because the point is,
Ice
It's kinda
creams come
funny.
in tubs, bigger than buckets, maybe.
do you say tub of popcorn or do you say bucket of popcorn?
Ooh, good question. I think it's popcorn bucket, right? Because especially now that they're doing like
Guy ate a whole
specialized
fucking tub of
buckets.
I think I can hear it though. The guy ate a whole fucking tub of popcorn.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Like when they're selling the cans of popcorn, they might call those tubs, like the Boy Scout popcorns.
Tubs.
And then
Between a tub
like
and
a cold pasta, maybe for a barbecue or something, like a potato salad or a
pasta salad.
pasta salad. That kind of can come in a bucket, like a bucket of pasta salad. You're not turned off if you hear the
For
term
stretching.
a bucket of.
I'm gonna bring a bucket of pasta over. No, I don't know.
He said, I don't know. Yeah, okay, that might be a little far fetched.
I'm on board with the tub of ice cream.
Yeah. All right, I'm good with that. So maybe then the tubs and the ice cream and the potato salad talk will lead us right into this week's Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore sound effects. I don't have any. It's true. It's just right in front of you there. It's all right. The time's passed.
Time
So last week, I know we mentioned of possibly doing barbecued foods for our 4th of July episode, but I think what we decided to do instead is going to be Mount Rushmore of essential things needed for 4th of July, or
maybe
to make
we
it
can
4th of July.
postpone barbecued foods for the Labor Day weekend.
Yes, cool. Yes, yep. We'll hold off on our barbecued foods because that'll be a good one. There's a lot to choose from there. But also, we decided that since there's only so many essential things needed for a 4th of July celebration, that we're going to do a collaborative Mount Rushmore.
If I could turn back time.
Bow, bow, if I could find a way. Why are we singing that?
Oh, because turning back time to times where we used to collab the Mount Rushmore.
Oh, wow.
Does that bring back a bucket of memories?
A big old bucket of memories. Yeah. So we're going to do the essential things for 4th of July, Mount Rushmore. And what do you think?
Well, we're going to get out the way right now.
Yep.
Fireworks. So it's going to be 5 because fireworks is just like, it's such an obvious.
Yeah. So let's treat fireworks as the black mountains that we are going to make our Mount Rushmore on, right? Like it's the all-encompassing. There would be no Mount Rushmore without the mountains being there in the first place. There would be no 4th of July without fireworks for the celebration.
Because some of these other things we name, like you could probably associate with a couple other holidays, maybe.
Right.
But fireworks is synonymous with 4th of July.
Yep.
I mean,
You think Santa with Christmas? You think boom, boom, pow, pow, fireworks?
and maybe even more so, because there's other things that are just for Christmas, and we'll do that when the time comes.
Is it Christmas ones?
Yeah, let's not get into too many spoilers.
We're not in the business of giving away our picks for Mount Rushmores.
No, and I'm glad that we're finally on the same page there.
I'm glad that we're finally on the same page there. But yeah, fireworks.
Can we revisit last week's though, real quick?
Can we?
Or do you want to get into this one?
No. What was it? Was last week's was Pixar movies. Yeah, go for it.
Lots of feedback.
That's good. We like feedback.
The common denominator was the Wall-E pick.
What about
you
Wall-E?
want to defend it because people are saying that was cheeks.
I'll defend Wall-E all day. I think it's a great movie. I don't know. Whatever anybody's got to say is whatever anybody's got to say. It's my Mount Rushmore. To me, it's one of my favorite Pixar movies, and I think it's one of their best.
Do you regret taking it to?
No.
That was definitive.
Because I didn't miss out on anything else I wanted to pick because it was there.
Now, Tim Greiner did comment and say, while he thought it was wild, he said it was a good pick because it was your pick and you stayed true to yourself.
Yeah. Well,
everybody
that's
else
the way it should
wanted
be.
Our heads for Cars not being taken, especially with Wall-E on the board. But
dude, Cars is not that good.
Oh yes.
Wall-E is way better than Cars.
That's the title of this episode.
Wall-E is way better than Cars. Yeah, I'll say it to the mountaintops. I don't think that should be that hard for people to get behind.
Wow! That is a bucket of controversy.
Okay, sure. Big old bucket of controversy. While Xavier masters this whistle. he's going to get it.
Wow.
So I don't think it's very controversial at all, personally.
Bug's Life not being taken was also heavily frowned upon.
Look, just because you liked oddball movies or whoever liked oddball movies and wants a Bug's Life as a top 4 of all Pixar movies, like,
top 8.
Get out of here. Top 8. Okay, yeah. Even still, probably not. There's 4 Toy Story movies that would be picked before Bug's Life.
Jesus. Here we go.
I'm just saying.
So you think Cars would be, how many picks before you would take Cars?
Probably, 8 or 9. All the Toy Stories are ahead. The 2 Monsters movies are ahead. Ratatouille, Wall-E.
Inside Out,
Up. Like, all these are ahead before I ever get to Cars even. Yeah.
Wow.
So Cars is down there around 9 or 10. It's a fine movie, but I don't think it's outstanding. I don't think it's better than the other ones that I named. That's all I'm saying. So, I don't know. If anybody's got a problem with that, come at me, I guess. Email the show.
Call in, big cars guy.
Call in, big
And I'm
cars
sure
guy.
we can get it.
So you're gonna tell me that you don't have no black cats, no Roman candles, or screaming mimes?
No.
Oh, come on, man. You don't got no lady fingers, buzz buttles, snicker bombs, church burners, finger blasters, gut busters, zippity doodads, or crap flappers?
No, I don't.
You're gonna stand there owning a fireworks stand and tell me you don't have no whistling bungholes, no spleen splitters, whisker biscuits, honky lighters, hoosker doos, hoosker don'ts, cherry bombs, nipsy daisers, with or without a scooter stick, or one single whistling kitty chaser?
No. Because snakes and sparklers are the only ones I like.
Well,
And that is how you know it's officially 4th of July.
Great. Obviously, I've seen that enough to know exactly when the with or without the scooter sticks was
With
coming.
or without the scooter sticks? Joe Dirt, slept on movie. It's a funny movie,
cult
but
classic.
it's also got a great message behind it.
Is it bigger
Be true
than
to
a cult
yourself.
classic?
That's a good question. I don't know that I hear much people in today's youth talking about Joe Dirt. So
Get
it's
you
got to
wham
be.
burgers and French fries.
It's a good one. It is a good one, and I hope that people get out and get some better fireworks than just some snakes and sparklers.
No. Home. Well, make it. Man, you like to see homos naked, man. That's cool.
It puts the lotion on the skin.
Dude, Joe Dirt, very quotable movie.
Yep. I forgot the Kid Rock was in it until I had watched it again recently, and I was like, "Oh
That was
yeah."
him that said,
Yeah.
You call the wambulance? He said, get you a wham burger and some French fries. We don't want you around no more, dirt. Isn't that how he says it?
I think so. So yeah, no Mount Rushmore without fireworks. Already mentioned for 4th of July. So that one is, like I said, the mountains of which we will build our 4th of July Mount Rushmore upon. Yeah?
So let's say the first pick is probably something we both can agree upon because it was going to be the original topic today, right?
Yeah.
Would you say? And that's
Barbecue.
barbecue.
Yeah. And I think that it's definitely essential to not get too carried away on 4th of July, right?
Keep it simple, stupid.
KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. You know, sure, you might be a great barbecue guy. Oh, I got the best smoked meats this side of the Mississippi. But it's 4th of July, baby. We're looking for some classic hamburgers and hot dogs.
Burgers, brats, and dogs.
Yeah, start with burgers and hot dogs. Brats is a nice little addition, and that's even like, you know, it's not super necessary. But give me burgers, give me hot dogs, and anything on top of that is like is extra.
I'll say I'm going to my mom's.
When it comes to 4th of July barbecue, I'm not talking barbecue in general. This is just if I'm having a grill, grill out, and I'm hanging out on 4th of July, make sure that there's burgers and hot dogs there. Continue.
I was
Sorry.
going to say, I guess I'm also telling you, I'm not going to make it to the cabin this weekend.
Oh, no.
My mom is doing a barbecue Saturday. I haven't
Okay.
had a lot of time with the fam.
Yeah, I get it.
That being said, I'm
Love
going
the
over
fam.
there. And if there's anything more than hot dogs and burgers, I will be accepting.
Yeah. It's not that I don't think other things aren't
And
acceptable.
not too many spoilers for the.
But you just, I think that it's necessary. Excuse me, hiccuping here. I think it's necessary for a 4th of July barbecue to have the staples. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
Hot dogs and burgers.
Hot dogs and burgers.
Doesn't really get more.
American
Yeah.
than hot dogs and
So we
burgers.
agree on burgers. What I mean, so 4th of July, are we thinking, okay, there's something you mentioned earlier that I think I can agree with, and that's lawn games.
Yes,
We're going lawn games
I
on
think lawn games are essential to 4th of July, and now that the debate becomes what's the best. You have your washers, your bags, of course.
Cornhole.
You have cornhole bags. What are we calling it?
I call it
calls
cornhole.
All right, cornhole it is. More old school, the lawn darts, or even
Horseshoes?
Horseshoes, yeah, absolutely. What's the one? Hillbilly golf or whatever, right? Where
We try to get the sling thing around.
yeah, it's the two balls with the
Yeah,
string,
that's a
and you
good
gotta
one.
flip it around.
That's a little fancier.
It's a little fancier. What other ones are we missing? I feel like we're missing some good ones there.
Frisbee.
Yeah, a classic frisbee.
Football,
Just
pigskin.
throwing the old pigskin around
Baseball.
until Uncle Chuck gets involved in the football game and he gets a little carried away and he's trying to relive his glory days and he stiff arms John and John's only about 6 years old at this point in time.
That's me, dude.
Stiff arming the 6-year-old cousin.
So I can't participate.
Nick!
Yeah.
What did you do?
If you don't want to get ran over, don't step in front of home plate.
Yeah, you heard him.
And I'll say that. Like, I mean, right?
He said, I mean, right? We're here to win. We're not here to have a good time. We're here to win.
There's a synonymous
Moment.
winning and having a good time.
Oh, he said those are synonymous. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Can you have a good time and not win? He said,
Me,
yeah,
personally?
I'm asking you. You're shaking your head. He said, nah, doesn't seem likely.
I could try to tell myself.
Well, we had a good time.
This was fun, right, guys?
Really, you're just trying to tell yourself, this was fun, right?
There's a lot of people out there that have that mind state. And
Yeah.
not that I don't want it.
No, I agree. If I'm going to be doing anything, I want to win.
I'm hardwired for being a sore loser.
Yeah, I
But
pretty
you
much
show me
wake
a
up.
good loser. You know the saying, right?
I pretty much wake up and piss excellence.
But you know the saying, if you show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I heard that saying, but I guess it makes sense.
Yeah. But anyways,
Not every
long
loser
games,
is
my
a good
favorite,
loser.
My favorite long game, as you asked earlier, is probably cornhole.
Yeah.
I'm just average.
One of the most approachable ones.
It's just like anything else. If I'm on, I'm on. But the wheels come off the tracks, and the wheels are...
Wheels off the tracks, and I'm fucking shit. Yeah.
Washers is great, though. We do annual washer tournament at our family reunion.
Nice. Yep. We like the washers.
But yeah, long games, 4th of July. And then there's a couple other, we were wrestling around for a third.
What do you think? Swimming is synonymous with 4th of July?
It is synonymous, but I don't know. That's what I'm trying to think of as essential, because I've had plenty of 4th of July where I
essential.
didn't swim.
Yep. All right. So we have.
You know, I like, because I also, man, like, and there's 4th of July, like, you could do it in a backyard, you could do it in a big public park.
Mhm.
What do you prefer?
I like a little of both, honestly, and I think that's what's kind of nice about 4th of July is like during the day you can kind of go and have to a family party in a backyard or whatever, and then at night it's kind of nice to go somewhere where there's a public gathering and maybe there's like a little carnival happening or something, and then they're gonna do fireworks there, you know, like a municipality display or something.
Because I was gonna say outside. I mean, outside is essential, but that's not like a pick. I mean, even though
Yeah.
with 4th of July is like the only holiday really that I like. It just
It
like,
feels
you're
like
outside.
you're always
you have to be outside.
celebrate. I think that should be on the list of Mount Rushmore things that are essential to 4th of July.
Being outside?
is good weather
Like,
and
almost
being
all
outside.
day, right?
Yeah.
Like you're only going in to pee or whatever. Even like your food's gonna be outside. You're
Yeah.
making the food outside. You're serving the food outside.
Yep.
You know, you have your lawn games. If there is a pool, that
It's-
is outside.
It's the essential summer holiday. It's smack dab in the middle of summer. It doesn't mark the beginning. It doesn't mark the end. It just marks we're hanging out. We're celebrating
Okay, so just
summer.
say this. Say you're forgetting all holidays and just days in general.
forgetting
Would
all
you say-
holidays.
Yes. Thank you. And if you're just thinking of one day of the year that you just connect with outside, would it be 4th of July?
Yeah, I mean, I could be just biased because we're just talking about it, but
Well, that's what I'm
it
trying to
comes to
think.
my head like instantaneously. Like if I'm thinking of any holiday and I'm thinking outside, it's
Not
that.
this holiday.
Or any day in general. Yeah, if I'm picking random on a calendar, sure.
Because, I mean, we're both outdoor kind of people. But,
the
but
other-
it brings the people that aren't usually
The
outside people outside.
Labor Day and Memorial Day, I also think of as an outside holiday. And it's interesting too because you almost always spend Halloween outside generally, like trick or treating. But obviously, there's parties that are inside and stuff.
Yes.
But you don't think of that as an outside holiday at all.
And that's just a period of time.
Yeah.
4th of July, whether you're celebrating on the 4th or that weekend,
Yeah.
you're outside all day, weather permitting.
It's for sure, and it's for sure outside activity kind
Bug
of
spray.
holiday. Bug spray, sunscreen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So outside,
I think outside should be on the Rushmore, personally.
so we got
We got barbecue. We got
lawn games.
lawn games.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Lawn games are outside.
And being
So
outside,
yeah.
we should just count that as part of a lawn game somehow.
Yeah, I mean it is like your lawn game.
Being outside is essential. Yeah, all right,
You see what I'm saying?
fine. Lawn games count with being
we
outside
did
as an
being
essential
out-
thing.
Okay, so third thing, do we want to go pools? I mean, I personally don't go to pool a lot on 4th of July.
I feel like I'm usually around a body of water, one way or another, either in a pool or in a lake or a river.
So swimming.
Swimming of some type, I feel like is heavily associated with 4th of July.
On the list
It can be in the bullpen right now. We might call it out if we need
No,
to towards the end if we
something that I
can't
watch-
come up with something that's more essential to 4th of July.
I agree. Now I want to throw this by. I watch it every year. I've probably watched this traction grow. It was niche. I was a hipster. Watched it before it was cool.
That's your style.
And that is the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Yeah. That's definitely become synonymous with 4th of
It
July.
made Joey Chestnut like one of the most famous athletes in America.
Yeah. And before him, even,
Kobayashi.
Kobayashi.
How could you forget? But even names like Matt Stoney, who's became a
Look at
YouTube
you.
sensation, competitive eater. He competes. I mean, I don't know. When I think of 4th of July, I definitely think of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest
Yeah.
held in Coney Island every year.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely become synonymous. I think 1972 was the first year that Nathan's Hot Dog put on the eating contest. So it's been going on for a lot of years at this point. So it's not, it's in the overall realm of 4th of July celebrations, it would be considered new, but it's definitely become pretty synonymous with the holiday in our, with people our age and everything like that. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to commit to the hot dog eating contest being a top 4 thing for 4th of July is quite yet. It's definitely should be sitting in the bullpen, I think. Should be sitting in the bullpen. I think, I feel like music is kind of synonymous with 4th of July.
But you could put music on anywhere.
You can
Music's
put music
synonymous
on
with
it.
a lot of days.
Yeah. 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 But, even, when you had original Independence Day celebrations, there was probably some sort of marching band going on the streets playing, the national anthem and different things like that. And it feels like there's always music playing when there's fireworks going off, and there's music playing in the background of parties, and there's concert series happening where they'll bring in artists and bands to perform on 4th of July for a lot of folks, and that doesn't happen on a lot of other holidays.
Concerts, maybe. Right? I remember going to a 4th of July like 6 years ago, maybe 7. Art Hill, Flo Rida, put on a free show.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. I'm gonna blow your whistle, baby. Whistle, baby. Is that Flo Rida? Please be. You'd think that the man would put down his vape for while he did the whistle, but no, he's going to hold all of them at the same time.
But what was I going to say?
We were talking about concerts and
I
music
don't know,
is
though, man.
synonymous
I
with
feel like it's
essential
like
for
music
4th
is
of
like
July.
for everything. Like I was thinking baseball.
Baseball has been
Baseball,
very, very good to me.
America, 4th of July. It's the only sport being played at that time.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I don't associate baseball and 4th of July as much as I might associate other stuff.
But music, though, that's so like music's on everywhere, any time of day, everywhere you go.
Yeah, I guess I get what you're saying. I feel like it's an essential thing for a 4th of July celebration is to have, music. Some Freebird playing in the background.
Yes, but I think that we have two different ideas of what this is supposed to. I'm going with things I associate with 4th of July, and your
So
brain
am
is
I.
at things essential for a 4th of July party.
Not a party, just essential for any 4th of July. And I think music is essential for the 4th of July.
Maybe we should have just done our own separate list.
No. We'll have to come to a consensus. Maybe which one would you rather live without on 4th of July? Music or hot dog eating contest?
Music.
You'd rather live without music on 4th of July?
Because music I have the rest of the year to have. The hot dog eating contest, it's bullshit that Joey Chestnut couldn't even compete last year because he was assigned to a competitor, I think Hebrew National. Like, he better be back this year.
I think he is. I'm pretty sure that I heard.
He's gotta be. I mean, come on, Nathans. That's like the
Come
WNBA
on.
kicking out Caitlin Clark. It'd be fucking stupid.
Bad idea jeans. That's what that is.
I mean, god damn it, Nathan, get it together. Well,
They got it together.
I'll fight for Nathans if we can lock that in and debate on the fourth one.
Wait, I don't know.
Either whether it be
I'll
swimming
concede
or music.
I'll concede music. I'll concede.
And we
don't
go
don't do
Nathans
music.
and
No
swimming?
Nathans. No,
No Nathans.
not quite yet.
All right. So what else
He
we
said,
got
all
going on?
right. So what else do we got going that's essential? There's oh man, I just had one, and then I lost it for a second.
He had it and lost it.
It's true. It is true. Dang it. Gosh, maybe it's not essential if I can't even think of it no more. So fine. All right, I'll give you Nathan's.
And that's what I'm saying. I say we go swimming in Nathan's.
Swimming in Nathan's.
Maybe music, but okay, but we gotta lock in a type of music. That's what I think. Music is so broad.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can technically be like, oh yeah, thank God he's playing Beethoven because I cannot picture this party without any music.
Yeah. I couldn't
think,
have my 4th of July party without
70s
music.
rock.
Yeah, a little classic rock action for your 4th of July.
Classic rock. Can we lock that into the Mount Rushmore?
As things that are essential for 4th of July. I'd rather it be swimming, and I'd rather it be Nathan's.
But when
I
you think what music's playing,
just
when you
talking through
picture
it.
this 4th of July music playing.
Yeah, definitely some Leonard Skinner. Definitely some ZZ Top.
Yes.
Definitely some CCR.
Oh my gosh. And what are all those bands considered?
Yeah, from the 70s era, classic rock.
All right.
He said, all right, we're making progress. And then you're gonna get some bye bye Miss American
Yes.
Pie.
Only 70s Billy Joel too. And that's not Billy Joel, I'm not saying that.
Right.
Strictly 70s. But that was strictly 80s.
We're strictly an 80s Joel band, sir.
Okay.
You take your whore wife and get out of here. I feel pretty good about that. I just still feel like there was one that I had on the tip of my tongue, that I just scattered away from my brain, and I can't remember it now. That's all right. I'm sure plenty of people will let us know the ones that we missed that are essential for 4th of July celebrations.
So what are we locking in?
Or just we're locking in barbecue and swimming and Nathan's hot dog eating contest and outdoor activities and lawn games.
All right.
Those 4 things are essential. So that'll be our Mount Rushmore for 4th of July stiffs. Call in and let us know how much we got wrong.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It'll happen. But there we go. There's a list.
It'll happen.
Glad that was easy.
Glad that was easy. So some other news came down the pipeline today. Xavier, I don't know if you heard. Diddy's verdict came to be. Any interest in... Did you hear about this? Do you know about it? Am I
Yeah,
telling
he
this to you for the first time?
Found not guilty on 4 or 5 charges. The thing he was found guilty on was kind of a slap in the wrist deal, right?
Essentially, yeah. He was found not guilty on the major of the charges. Could end up facing about 10 years in jail or less is basically what they're saying. And I don't know the old details of the case. I just think that, we talked about it briefly as it was all coming to be. We talked about it briefly as it was coming to be, so I thought that it was only right that we mentioned that the verdict did come down and he was acquitted on 4 of the 5 different counts.
Did you see, though, that they were like pouring baby oil on themselves in celebration outside the courthouse?
I didn't see that. No, but that's wild. That's wild behavior.
And I forget what they had signs that said
Diddy didn't do it.
No, but it was like a play on words. It was like, just because you're freaky or something doesn't mean you're guilty.
Oh, that's what the signs were saying?
Yeah.
No, I missed the signs. I missed the signs. I opened up my eyes. I missed the signs. So sorry about that. I had those gigs over the weekend. Had that heydays at the train wreck. That went pretty good. It was not a train wreck.
This guy's got it.
Woo! Zingers! And then Sunday was that private party for some rich dude's birthday in St. Peter's. Nice house, great landscaping. He had this, you know how you'll see the concrete statues of like Mary and stuff in people's yard? Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So just to paint the picture for everybody else, you know, imagine a little concrete Mary statue in the backyard, which he did have one of those in the yard. But also there was a concrete statue of our current president, Mr. Donald Trump, and the statue was dressed in Indian goddess attire. So he had a little Trump statue with Indian goddess attire on, or God. No, it was like a little Shaw thing, and then in the gold crown. So don't know what that was about. He said it's a joke. It's as a joke.
Indian goddess.
Yeah, like a dashiki. Is that what they call that? Like the little scarf thing with the.
I'm thinking
like,
goddess like a woman's attire.
You got me, dude. They had.
Come on, like what monks wear.
No, it was like a deity, like a Hindu deity.
Very
like
interesting.
Guard on the Mr. Donald Trump statue. So I don't know, rich people's choice of yard decor. Interesting. But so we were supposed to play 4 hours there, and they liked us so much he paid us more to play for another 2 hours. So I ended up 6 hours gigging at this guy's party on Sunday.
Hell yeah.
Busy weekend. Gigged last night at Fairmount Casino at their restaurant. You have a question? You give me the finger?
No. There you go.
Oh, like the number one. He's holding up the number one foam finger over there. And then tomorrow night we're at the Ballpark Village playing after the downtown fireworks.
That's fun.
So that'd be good.
Why are they doing
weekend
downtown
playing.
fireworks on a Thursday night?
I think they're going to do it on the 4th also, because they have music on the 3rd and 4th. The music on the 3rd is country artists. I can't even remember who's headlining. And then they have Gavin DeGraw is headlining on the 4th. He was the I don't want to be anything other than free. That guy.
I'm glad he's still getting gigs.
Hey, he's still getting paid.
What was that, 2005?
I don't know the years, Xavier.
I'm going to get 2005 so I can get 2006 and 2004.
So Gavin DeGraw, I don't want to be. Looks like it came out 15 years ago, which would make it 2010. Maybe that's just when the video was put. Lord knows.
Wow, I was off.
He said, wow, I was off. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't prepared for that question. Producer Tony is slow on the draw. But it does say that he's playing in town on the 4th of July. So yeah, Gavin DeGraw headlining downtown on the 4th. The 4th being on Friday.
He's just going to play that 18 times?
I would hope so. That's what I would be there for. It's kind of like when I worked a gig for Soul Asylum a few weeks ago at the racetrack. You know, there was people standing around watching them, and as soon as they played the one hit they had, the Runaway Train Never Coming Back. That's the big hit for Soul Asylum. They played that song, everybody's phone came out, they filmed it, and as soon as that song was done, I'd say 70% of the crowd thinned out and went on to go do something else.
I didn't even really know that song.
That's their only hit.
Like, that is a bigger hit.
Well, it's a hit more in our lifetime than the Soul Asylum was. Like, that was in the 90s. This is in more of the core of our lifetime, right?
In a prison guard, son.
I don't want to be
anything other than what I've been trying to be lately.
Yeah. So that's what I have going on in this week. Any exciting tales from the service table? I know you already were mentioning about the trivia failures of some of the servers this week. And your anxiety about closing for the first time.
Yeah, I guess I've already kind of done that.
No Karen stories you want to relay from the work?
I mean, there is. I always just feel weirder now in my position than back when I was a server, you know, especially because now people from work are starting to tune in.
He said, I got these people listening. They're going to tie things back to me. They're going to tell these people they're listening.
Yes.
Don't call in, big coworker. We don't need you.
So that's kind of my reservations on that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm not trying to cause any workplace drama.
Oh, you know what? There was another situation this week that had me thinking, and that kind of made me remember talking about Karens and complaining and things. It's kind of become expected that if you complain at all about anything, you just get labeled as a Karen, right?
And the Karen term is outdated.
It's outdated. It's overused. It's got watered down.
Like anything else.
Yeah. Like anytime anybody, even if they're in a rightful position to complain, gets labeled as a Karen. So we got a new roof put on the house. It was time to get it done. There was damage on things, and it was just on an old roof. It was time to get it done. So we got a new roof on the house, and new gutters are going in. So they were here Monday and Tuesday doing the roof this week. And, professional company, we're paying them a good chunk of money to do it. They put their tarps down to catch stuff coming off the roof as they're taking off the old roof. But they put their tarps over our flowers and stuff. Well, doing that made it so that our flowers got burnt and have a lot of dead spots on these flowers now. And it's just like, why can't some company that we're paying a ton of money to take their time and not damage our shit? And it's like they specifically have you sign a thing on your contract that says, like, if we damage any landscaping, like, that's not our fault. It's like, can't you just take a little pride in what you do and not damage people's stuff?
Maybe not go with somebody who has that in the contract.
That's common for every roofer. That's what they say is like, we're not responsible for any damaged landscaping or whatever. They just assume it's like part of the deal. And you see this with a lot of stuff, especially like service companies like that, like, roofing and plumbing or electrical work. It's like some of those customer service aspects are just lacking in some of those businesses. And if you complain at all, you just get labeled as like, oh, this is a needy customer. They're just complaining about whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know where we decided to go that way as a society, like why we have to accept half-assed work, and that's just the norm. I don't know, just a little ranty rant that I had to think about.
Did they call you a Karen for complaining about it?
We didn't complain about it, but it just made me start thinking, like, if we do call and complain about it, they would label us like, oh, these guys are just a bunch of, complainers or whatever. Or if we had went out there and be like, hey, can you, take this tarp off of our flowers? The workers had been like, oh, these guys need everything done or whatever. Like, they'd be like, they're so particular.
Yeah.
People just, like, they get so complaining if you ask them to do a good job. I don't know. It just... Where's the pride? And I don't know. It just seems like you get labeled as in the wrong if you have high expectations for something. Like, am I wrong for having higher expectations of work out of people? Or is that just the standard these days, is to not have high expectations?
No, I think you sound like one of those am I the asshole people where you know the answer to that.
So I do have high expectations?
No, but like, it's an obvious answer. Like, is that so wrong? I feel like deep down that's not...
Well, I know it's not so wrong, but I'm saying, why is it so accepted among everybody that it's just acceptable to deal with poor, customer service and all aspects of customer service? Why do we just be like, well, this is just the way it is? We have to accept poor customer service. But if you don't accept it, then you get labeled as a Karen or a complainer.
No, like yesterday, somebody dropped 2 margaritas right at a table.
Oof.
Like they weren't even serving to that table. They just fell as they were walking by.
Damn.
Glass breaks right by them. And I had to go talk to this lady because she wasn't even that mad about that. She was mad at the server because the margaritas came up and splashed her daughter and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
The server didn't even
acknowledge the people.
Acknowledge it.
Yeah.
So I talked to the server about it, and they were like, oh, yeah, they fell. I don't think they got on anybody, though. And I was like, well, you should have at least stopped and went back. And even if you thought that didn't hit them, right, say sorry. So I went by, and the lady was more mad at that, right, than the fact that, mistakes happen. Yeah. She was complaining.
That it wasn't acknowledged.
I was hearing her complaints, and I thought they were very valid. And I went and got her a $40 gift card and then gave her another $30 off of her bill. So nice. $70 in total for that. And I feel like that made her feel heard and stuff.
Right.
So just coming from that end of it, like hearing the complaint and stuff that she had, my mind didn't jump to she's complaining. I thought this was a valid complaint.
Right.
Two people, like somebody just dropped 2 margaritas right by my table that came up and splashed 2 people, and she didn't even stop and say sorry.
Yeah. And that's messed up.
But if she complained, I would and she did complain. The reason I guess where I'm taking the stance I am is I didn't.
It's
think,
not.
oh,
I guess
well,
you're right.
my
It's
God,
not always like that.
What a couple of Karens.
That's just kind of how I guess I've been made to feel.
Yes, that's probably how. It's
Like
probably more in your head.
It is.
Like people usually can hear something and be rational, especially when they are providing a business. Like
Yeah.
we fucked that up. Like, how can we make that back to you? We want your business to come back, and we want you to tell other people, like, yeah, like this went bad, but they really took care of it. They really cared.
Right.
That's how I see it. At least how maybe I'm in the minority.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a bummer. Our flowers and the plants that we spent time and money on were looking real good, and then just they come in and
It is a bummer.
messed it up. Got the new roof, but now I got messed up plants, so can't have nice things, I guess. So end that rant. But that kind of move us into our Am I the Asshole for this week? What do you think? You excited? Yay! Woo!
It's a fun segment.
Woo, woo, woo. So a little different approach this week. This isn't asking of a question of would I be the asshole? Not necessarily saying that they've done this situation. This person is asking for advice on if they do this, would that make them the asshole? So it's a little different approach. So they're asking, would I be the asshole if I break up with my girlfriend over this? All right, that's the headline. You ready? Let me clear my throat. I, 26 male, have been with my girlfriend, 25, for about a year. Things are fine for the most part, except for this one issue that's gotten weirder since I started sleeping at her place.
Ooh.
She has a dog, a beagle who follows her everywhere. I have no problem with him in general, but he is in the room when we're having sex. He sits there, watching, sometimes on the bed, sometimes on the floor, just staring. At first, I thought it was a fluke. I assumed she'd move him or put him outside, but she never does that. She never does, but she never does. That's what it is. But she never does. She acts like it's totally normal and says he doesn't know what's going on, etc. Okay, but I do, and it's killing the vibe. I can't relax. I can't focus. I feel like I'm being watched by her cuck dog, and it just makes me feel uncomfortable and gross. I finally brought this up seriously and asked if she could just put the dog outside the room during sex. She got kind of annoyed and said she is not going to banish her dog every time we hook up, and that he gets anxious when he's locked out. Now I have stopped initiating anything and honestly started checking out in general. I haven't said this to her, but I'm seriously considering breaking up over this. Would I be the asshole? I just like I think I only wanted to read it for the one line of
I don't think either.
I feel like I'm being watched by her cuck dog.
I don't think either party is the asshole in the situation. Yeah, I think it could be a deal breaker. I think her reasoning, okay, that could also be a mood killer if you have a dog
right outside the door, just being anxious and whining.
So either way, it's just not a match made in heaven. She needs to find a guy who's comfortable with the dog watching them get it on. and that doesn't make either one of them the asshole.
So you're saying
that's just a dynamic.
Yeah. So,
I think I would be more in this guy's like.
So it doesn't make him an asshole for wanting to break up with her because of this, even though it's like a small thing in the comparative.
Well, because it is uncomfortable for him. He doesn't like
that
it.
dog's going to die way before they do.
And then the next dog.
Well, you think maybe the next dog, well, he'll be around for the involvement of the next dog so they can train it to be outside of the room and not be anxious. Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Like, I think it has already created such a wedge and divide that it's just like these just aren't a match made in heaven, and that's fine. You know?
Yeah, I hear you. But
if
that's
you're
not
starting anything, if you're debating whether or not you're breaking up with your girlfriend on a public platform,
it's not whether or not he should, it's whether or not he's the asshole for doing it because of this reason. Assuming everything else in the relationship is above board, which maybe it's not because
what I'm
he's
saying.
looking for an excuse.
That's what I'm saying.
But let's just go on the belief that it is just to be able to
but
have
if he
the
is
argument.
super in love with this girl,
And he just
and
can't.
the relationship
and
is
he
perfect,
Can't deal
and
with
that's
this
the
one
only
thing.
I don't think we'd be having this conversation.
But would that make him an asshole for breaking up with her if everything else is perfect and she's like blindsided that we can't get past this dog sitting in the room
She won't let me fuck.
without the dog in the
really
room?
need a bust a nut. Oh.
Ooh, Afro man,
Yeah.
nice.
How'd you know that?
Afro motherfucking man.
Can't stand no fucking beagle sitting there.
No beagle sitting in. Yes.
Yes, sir. Those are the connections and puns that we come for.
And beagles make some annoying sounds like when they're.
But how much is it bothering him? Like he's still he's still
thinking
performing.
about it. It's
But
on his mental.
He's performing. Maybe he likes it a little more than he does. Maybe that's what. Because like he's getting it up.
I guess he's talking about the dog being a
Cuckold.
watcher. Yeah.
But the dog. In order to be a cuckold, you have to like be understanding what you're watching, right? I mean,
Probably.
she's kind of right.
Yeah. No. It's
Like the dog doesn't understand.
Yeah. It's like when people have sex with their newborn baby in the
Okay.
room.
That is weird though. I see what he's saying. Like he knows.
Yeah, he knows that the dog's watching him, watching his every move. He's sitting back there like Sting from the police.
Thrust
Yeah.
you make, every clap you take, every bed you shake, I'll be watching you.
Boom, 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 boom. And it all comes back to P. Diddy.
Damn.
So, pretty easy, I guess, am I the asshole? I don't know. I think if he were to, I think he has to have another serious conversation with her and say, look, here's the deal. Like, I just really am uncomfortable with this. And like, if we can't do something about it, then we might need to end this relationship because, it's uncomfortable for me to have the dog in the room while this is going on. And you don't think it's a big deal, but we can't even communicate on it. And that's showing other problems. So I don't know. I think if he were to just break up with her without having at least another conversation and really explaining how serious he is about breaking up with her, if something doesn't change, then that might put him in the asshole category.
Why? But it makes him uncomfortable.
Yeah, well,
There's just certain puzzle pieces that just don't go together no matter how bad you try to force them.
yeah, that's true.
She's completely comfortable.
But if everything, like I said, if everything else in the relationship is good, sometimes you gotta sacrifice some things you don't want for love. Love.
Maybe you should just alpha this dog, dude. Just fucking stare him back.
Yeah, like you getting a doggy, and she's just in Pleasure Town, and you lock eyes with that beagle.
Yeah, you gotta alpha this fucking dog, bro.
And you put that dog in his
He's letting
place.
the dog. He's the cuck.
Yeah,
He is the cuck, dude. This dog's letting him know, bro.
yeah. Like I know you're having fun, but I'm watching you, and you're not enjoying this because I'm watching
The more
you.
we have to talk through this, I'm thinking this guy, like, is he the asshole? No, he's a bitch.
He's the pansy.
He's a pansy.
Hilarious.
You just gotta fucking let that dog know.
Yep. Stare him right in his corneas, and you'd be
Right?
like,
You think that's a good advice?
"That's probably the best approach." I agree.
Make that dog uncomfortable.
Make the
Stop
dog
letting the dog make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, before you know it, the dog's going to be wanting out of the room. It's going to be at the door begging to get out. You're going to unzip your pants, and that dog's going to start whining. Oh, shit.
I think we got there, dude.
He said, I think we got
We
there.
found the solution.
So maybe nobody's the asshole in this case.
Well, yeah, I mean, I am starting to think he is the asshole. Like,
But you
you're
don't
such
think
a-
she's got any culpability with, like, the dog can't even be out of the room without
But
you?
it was already this way before the relationship was established.
I guess. It didn't
And
say
she
how long they
explained,
were in a
like
relationship.
when you were explaining the reason, and she said the dog is anxious. Now I'm thinking, like, from her perspective, like, yes, she's already created this bad
They've been
habit.
together for about a year.
Yeah, so she's already created this bad habit with the dog being so needy from her.
Mm-hmm.
But he accepted that part of her relationship before they got into it. I assume this dog's a big part of her life. So he got into
Yeah.
a relationship knowing how attached this dog is.
Right.
Now, what would you rather do, Bob? Would you rather?
What would I rather do?
Would you rather make love with a dog watching, or make love with a dog outside the room? him scratching at the door. That would be so distracting.
It would be, but it's like, it makes me, I feel like
If
the dog would peter out after a little bit of whining.
No.
You don't think?
Hell no.
He said, hell
Especially because he could probably hear the owner.
Yeah. Knowing that they're in there.
And even if she isn't making a lot of noise, dude, like there's a lot going on in that room.
Yeah, a lot
that
of
dog senses
a lot of motion of the ocean.
Yes.
On the
That
trip to
dog
Pleasure
ain't gonna
Town.
be like, oh, okay, yeah.
Nobody's in there. Yeah. I guess I'd probably just rather have the dog in the room than whining for sure.
Let the dog watch. As my hips were bearing down on Donna.
Oh, Donna.
Remember that? Eastbound and Down?
Oh, we gonna have a lot of fixins?
I'm gonna have all the fixins.
Ooh. What kind of fixins?
Was that a 4th of July reference in that episode?
No, I think he was like opening a hot dog stand at the mall or something. And he was like, this spot right over here is going to be for all of our fixins. And his buddy Stevie or whatever his name, he said, ooh, are we going to have a lot of fixins?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that guy is an asshole.
All right. Well, I wasn't really expecting it to go that way. I didn't think that somehow he would turn into the asshole for not even doing anything.
I don't even know if asshole. Like, we
He
need more than
he
one
asked
word.
if he would be the asshole for breaking up with her. You're saying he's just the asshole for being uncomfortable with a dog in the room.
Well, no, not that. Like, that's I'd probably be uncomfortable, but like, you manage the situation. Why does it have to be like, I'm such a little bitch boy. I put my little fucking Spider-Man underwear on, and I fucking
One leg at a time.
I drink my Capri Suns. Dude, grow a pair.
No, we don't have Capri Suns, man. We're still going through these Kool-Aid jammers.
Yeah. You gotta fucking look that dog in the eye every goddamn clap of the way.
And really put it in its place. And then there's no problem.
That's what I'm thinking, dude.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other way to go about this.
I really don't see any other solution. It's only one solution to this problem for this guy.
You stare a dog right in the eyes, dude, they react.
Yeah, they usually cower.
Yeah.
They don't want that smoke.
He's like, get the fuck out of here.
What, that beagle just got closer, though. He started coming up on the bed, like, just getting
You
right in
can't
his eye.
back down.
You got to keep that eye contact.
Yeah. Even if you're nose to nose with this bitch.
Just imagine some guy nose to nose with a beagle going down with his chick.
Just, dude, you have to. You're letting this beagle fucking cuck your ass, bro.
Yeah, basically.
He's calling the dog a cuck? He's
Yeah.
a cuck.
I don't know, the old cuckarina.
That's a cuck.
That's a cuck. The cucky, cuckaroo. I don't know. We'll work on the definitions later, I guess. So I guess we're going with would be
No,
the
because
asshole.
he is a cuck because this dog's winning.
This dog
He
is
breaks
winning.
up with the girl. The dog mission accomplished.
Well, the dog's
That
coming
guy's
first.
the one not having sex anymore. That
I think
dog's-
maybe that's the case.
that,
The
nothing
guy's-
changes in that dog's life except for now his owner's not getting fucked right in front of him every night.
Yes, that is one of the things that changes.
That dog-
And I think that you're right. If the guy breaks up with her, then the dog wins.
Yeah.
He gets what he wants. The guy absolutely loses. He would be an asshole.
It might be my favorite one yet.
So it might be the best one.
You got to talk through it a few times in your head.
Yeah. Think of all the possibilities.
Yeah. Call in, big love maker.
Yep. Have you had experiences with that in the past, of having to remove an animal? Or
My parents listen, Bob.
these are my parents listen. I mean, I know, hey, no shame. I know there's been times when I'm like, we got to get this dog out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, 100%.
So,
Like,
all right.
I can see where he's come from. Nobody, I don't want the dog in the room.
So, all right. Then I think that maybe he wouldn't be the asshole. I think that this girl needs to be more understanding about, like, let's get this dog out of here.
But in those relationships, like,
It's been almost a year. So clearly things are all right. They like each other. Like each other a little bit more than love. Not more than love,
but
more
how
than
you
like.
saying he's not the asshole? Because I didn't say, like, I would never break up with a girl. That situation, if it happened to me, I'm alpha in that dog.
Yeah. But I'm saying that, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I don't think
There's never been a scenario in my life where.
gosh. I think if she wouldn't, I don't know. It's tough because, I don't know. He might be a little bit of an asshole if he breaks up with her, but I don't know that he would be if she's not willing to listen and work out a solution to get this dog out of the room while we're trying to be intimate, love making. Let's get this dog out of here. And if you're not on board with that, then that doesn't make me an asshole for not wanting to be with you because you won't respect, the the boundaries and how it makes me feel. So I think that makes her the asshole. Not that somebody has to be in this situation, but I don't think he would be an asshole for breaking up with her if she doesn't want to do anything about the dog, is my consensus.
What are you going to do? Get a crate, put it on the opposite side of the house, and every time things start getting hot and heavy, you're going to fucking stop and take Pete the Beagle all the way to the fucking...
No, you got to start slowly training the dog that it's okay to... You got to get rid of that separation anxiety, you know? She's got to start working with the dog on a regular basis, not just only when we're getting intimate. She's got to just put the dog, separate her from the dog on a normal basis from time to time, you know? Put the dog out of the room for 5 minutes here and there just to let the dog know that it's okay. So we just got to retrain the dog, and she's got to have a willingness to do that.
I wish we could talk to these people live on air.
Somehow we get in contact.
You're starting to take this guy's side back.
I'm just saying, I don't think it would make him an asshole if he broke up with her because she's not willing to work on the dog situation.
Out by a beagle. It's not like a fucking Rottweiler's on the other end of this bed.
Doesn't matter.
It's
like you said, it's still odd. We can agree that an animal in the room makes it uncomfortable.
I don't like it at all.
It should be on her to make it so the animal doesn't need to be in the room.
What animal do we draw the line? You're thinking dog, cat, I guess in your case, pig. But there's a fucking like if she has a pet turtle, that's not turning you off.
Yeah, the hamster's over there on his wheel. Like you're not like, we gotta get this hamster out of here.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if it's fucking going ruckus on the
pinwheel hamster. Yeah, maybe.
That'd be distracting. But it wouldn't because the hamster itself is in the room. We're thinking dog, cat, right?
Yeah. Dog. I think a cat's even more acceptable than a dog.
Cat's not going to sit and watch.
No, they're going to be looking out the window, doing their own thing. They're not paying attention. The dog's going to be locked in, dude. The dog is locked. Waiting for somebody to drop scraps.
Oh, man.
Woo! No, I think she's got to get rid of that dog. She's got to figure out how to make the dog be okay with being separate for a little period of time. I think that's a reasonable request.
You've made love with a dog in the room?
Yeah. But the dog is gone out of the room. Not, yeah. Eventually the dog gets gone because it's like, can't have you here. You're getting way up close. Like, I don't need it. Yeah.
Wow, that's new. What's up?
Yeah, like, this ain't a dog park. We don't need to be sniffing butts.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, he says. No, not great. Not great. So I think that's a pretty good. Oh, yeah. Woo! Hey. Hey. What's it? Oh, boy. Gosh. Thank you. I'm thinking of...
Thank you.
Larry Junehead.
Thank you so much, sweetheart.
Yeah, I felt like there was...
Can you please go to Whole Foods and get me 3 farm-raised chickens?
I thought like he had like a good just one-liner that I'm missing. That's all right. We're past it. Hit the slide again. Hell yeah.
I almost had it.
So let's see. Yeah, you got your 4th of July celebrations coming up. Like I said, I'll be at Ballpark Village tomorrow night playing with Clover. Xavier's got a barbecue with the fam on the 4th. And then 5th. Yeah, Saturday. You're off on this. On the 5th. There are many amendments to this Constitution. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. Anyway.
5th.
Anything else you're looking forward to coming up in the next few days?
Nailed it.
Nothing else you're looking forward to?
No.
Very definitive. Blues got some new players. We'll let the offseason transpire. We'll get into Blues talk later on. Cardinals Cubs coming up over to holiday.
Holiday season.
Oh.
Holiday season shrimp.
So I don't know. I think that'll probably do us then, Xavier, unless you got last chances for last thoughts.